Hey pal, you don't know me, but after a few minutes of watching this video, I can guarantee you're going to hate me. And at first, the thought of pissing off tens of thousands of people in one fell swoop kinda bothered me. But hey, comes with the territory. Now before I go and turn this whole little party upside down, you've got to first promise me that you can handle the truth about why you're failing online so consistently. Because sadly, it's got nothing to do with people like me, and everything to do with you. Now you may not like to hear that, and that's a good sign you don't belong here. Parting ways is probably the best thing for both of us. You know, I'm not a big fan of emotional breakups. Then again, some of you will weather the storm and stomach the bruised ego. You'll come out a better man or woman, and more importantly, when it's all said and done, you'll have in your hands the exact same system I've been using day in and day out to keep my account looking like this, instead of like this. Ugh, I know that second image hurts to look at. Let me guess, that's because this second image looks a lot like your account. Or in other words, you're still struggling, or more accurately, failing online. And you're failing quite mightily, if I may say so. Now I know everyone says it's not your fault you're failing online. They'll convince you that you just weren't told about the shindig, or that whiz-bang method. Well, you know what? I've had just about enough of that talk. If your account still looks like that, it is your fault, and it's 100% your fault. Look, if you keep buying the products that don't work, and then buying another product with the same sales pitch and it doesn't work, you're the source of your failure. If you keep trusting in pseudo-gurus whose names popped up last week with no track record and no real credibility to their name, well, the only person to blame is the man in the mirror. Let's face it, you're unlucky. Scratch that. You're one of the most unlucky SOBs I've ever come across in my short life. You know how I know? Because look at this graph. This is all the money whizzing by you online. Because you're still searching for good ways to make it all work. Here you are, in the greatest industry in the world, with the most money ever available to the little guy in history. And what are you busy doing? Learning from charlatans, buying up biz-op offers, who don't give two damns about how your bank account or how your credit card looks when they're through with you. You don't have any clue who to listen to. And the world is simply not kind to those who don't do their homework. That's precisely why I needed to create a system for you today that has nothing to do with luck. And here's another thing you've got going for you. With me, things are different than what you're used to. Very different. And that's because I stand behind my products to ensure everybody who does business with me winds up in the green, not in the red. You come near me, we do business together. You wind up with more money in your pocket, not less. It's my personal credo. It's my mission statement. It's what I live by. Don't buy it? Look me up, Justin Mickey, and see for yourself. Now, I want you to understand, I've created a system, the only system past or future that anybody can profit with today, no matter what your skill level, no matter what your history is online. Without Google, paid traffic, without JVs and connections, without content, without a list, without any of the stuff you'd think you'd need. But the only way you'll ever get anywhere near it is if you man up. Stop blaming gurus for your problem. Heck, I've seen so much guru bashing lately, I feel like I'm watching an episode of The Hills. You know what? Everybody should just shut up about the gurus. If you're bashing a guru, you're bashing me. And some of us really do make a hell of a lot of money online. You see, a guru is likely somebody that's actually been where you've been and found their way out of it. You want to learn from aspiring actors? You'll get an aspiring actor's salary. You want to learn from me and the systems I use? A guy who, with no marketing budget, went from scratch to building one of the top 10 entertainment businesses in Canada. In my first 2 years online, a guy whose published work, Street Smart Internet Marketing, has become the authority in major universities all around the world that professors turn to give their students a window into the world of making money online. A guy whose trainings have helped over 100,000 people from 22 different countries and cranks out new trash-talking online success stories like popcorn. You want to learn from a guy like that? Smart, because you just might start making money like me. There's no guarantees on that, of course, but it's just a wild guess. Capiche? So who am I? Well, I'm Justin Mickey, also known as the real OG, and that stands for the original guru. The guru you love to hate. The guru all the actors are pretending to be. I actually live the lifestyle they can only write scripts about. They wish they had my life, and I don't blame them, because my life is insanely good, and I don't know too many people who can say that with a straight face. What you're looking at is a life you won't admit that you want, and a life you may walk away with, or walk away from, depending on the choices you make on this page. This is my house, a 7,000 square foot mansion. Man, trust me when I tell you, you don't know the good life until you've lived by the beach. Here's my dazzling wife, Christine, who no longer has to compete with a day job for my attention. Yeah, she actually used to be a successful model. Now, from my eyes only. Here are my kids, who've become my full-time commitment. That's the best part. I can do pretty much whatever, whenever. Here's a look at my pool, my Sea-Doo, my ATV, my surfboards. Some people call them childish habits. Well, I never grew out of them. Habits that aren't cheap, mind you. Don't be so surprised. The internet makes room for luxury when you know how to push its buttons. Now, I wasn't always rolling deep, as you might imagine. So, let me tell you a bit about how I got from a life that was probably a lot like yours to the life I now lead. And unlike a lot of the crap you're hearing online, this story doesn't start yesterday, or even last year. 7 years. That's how long I've been online, making millions. Yes, I said millions. I know I look young, but remember, I started young, making me a bit of a prodigy, I guess. One of the earliest guys to get into the business, and even earlier to catch the software trend. Pretty good foresight for a kid with serious pipe dreams. This was years before the notion of software for traffic took over our industry like the Ebola virus. I was doing software for traffic before anybody thought about software. Now, most of you newbies don't know me. Don't even know I've been around. That's okay. Google me and learn that I've released too many products to count, half of which I don't even bother slapping my name on, because I don't need to. My products sell themselves. I've made millions this whole time, quietly. Nothing like the punk kids who had 72 hours of success and spent the rest of their time and money flashing their bling and pimping sports cars. For these kids, their life revolves around showing people how wealthy they are. I'm not out to prove a thing. I'm not your local neighborhood internet marketer. I am off the proverbial grid. I don't even live in the States. I don't have to. Just to rub it in once more, I live in a mansion. I'm married to a model. And I play with my kids all day. That's all I need. So when I became wealthy online, I didn't need to flaunt it to friends. I took off. And that's an important lesson for you, because just as important as making the money is knowing how to spend it correctly. And that's one of the things you're going to learn if we decide to do business together today. I've been a guru for years. I've seen all the products, every method, many times over. And of course, I've seen the endless pseudo-guru recycling system you're probably familiar with. You know the method. They wrap an already stale technology in a pretty little bow so nobody realizes. It's the same thing you bought last month, last week, maybe even yesterday. Of course, that means the names, the personalities, the faces need to be changed daily to keep the scam running, so people keep getting duped. Me? I'm immune to it all, and have been for years. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I bought an internet marketing product. Listen up, because I'm about to reveal my dirty little secret. I don't know a lot about internet marketing, relative to a lot of these guys you see out there, but I haven't needed to know much, because the real truth is, I've been doing one thing, the same thing, for the past 3 years. This one method has been enough to fund every childhood dream I've ever had. No matter how cool or new